Good afternoon, Excellencies, distinguished senators, honorable members. Welcome to this segment of the retreat. I'm going to be speaking on citizen diplomacy, challenges of effective implementation, prospects for national development. I will start by expressing my gratitude to the organizers of this conference for inviting me to be part of it. Thank you very much. But I would like to observe that a myriad of topics and subjects have been discussed and interrogated by our think tanks like the National Institute, the KURU, the NIIA, the Defense College. And what eludes us is implementation. So I hope that at the end of this conference, we will have the gumption, the chutzpah, if you like, to carry out, to execute the recommendations that will arise from this retreat. What is the purpose of government? What is the purpose of government? Government is there at the origin of government. The citizens give up some of their rights to a central authority, which is the government, in exchange for protection and provision of services. That is the origin of government, that fiduciary responsibility of government to provide for the citizen. If you remember at election times, campaign, political parties seeking power, they promise heaven and earth, have manifestos, I will give this, will provide this, roads, hospitals, for your vote. And so when a government comes into power, is elected into power, to office, that government owes a responsibility, owes a debt to citizens to provide these services. In the diplomatic field, and within, and in the country. What is diplomacy? For the purpose of our talk today, diplomacy is the gamut of relations a sovereign state maintains with foreign entities. It could be other countries, it could be international organizations. But diplomacy will incorporate the pronouncements, the body language of our principals, of our heads of state, and ministers who have businesses outside the country, who are called upon to go outside Nigeria and deliberate on our behalf. They're all diplomats. They all they practice diplomacy too. One ineluctable aspect of diplomacy is that it is based on a country's perceived national interest. A diplomat is sent abroad to defend and protect his nation's interest. Who are the stakeholders of diplomacy then? Who are the practitioners? Who are the diplomatists, the diplomatic agents? As I said, Mr. President is the chief diplomatic officer. The presidency, people in the presidency, the vice president, all diplomats. Because once in a while they are called upon to go outside to represent Nigeria and make pronouncements and sign agreements. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs is also an active diplomatic agent. You have the honorable ministers, you have the permanent secretary, and you have the staff within in the country and without. Because it is the ones who are inside after 2, 3, 4 years they are posted out, then they do a stint of 2, 3, 4 years again and they come in. So they are all diplomatic agents. Diplomatic missions abroad, our diplomats, our attachés from other NDAs who are posted to our embassies, and then the local staff. You must not forget the local staff, because usually they are the first contact that applicants have when they come to the embassy. Before they even meet the diplomat, they already meet the local staff. Parliament, parliamentarians, Senate committees, House Committee on Foreign Relations, they are also stakeholders in diplomacy, as well as Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, which was recently formed, inaugurated. They all have rules, they interface with the outside world on behalf of Nigeria. We have the Nigeria Immigration Service, of course, who mans our consular desks abroad now, issuing visas, issuing passports, other travel documents. So they're also stakeholders, as well as the Presidential Advisory Council, and other NGOs like the Association of Retired Career Ambassadors, who make inputs, who advise government on certain trending issues. Of course, there is also the NIPC, Nigeria Investment Promotion Commission, and the NEPC, Export Promotion, as well as NIDO, Nigerians in Diaspora Organization, because they are the ones who have organized our citizens outside in order to form a bloc that can interface with government. In all the countries in Europe, in America, even within each country, they have a strong, vibrant NIDO, Nigerians in Diaspora Organization, that organize conferences, investment meetings, and they are also participants in this diplomacy. We have seen what diplomacy is and the practitioners. So what is citizen diplomacy? For purposes of knowledge, there are two aspects of citizen diplomacy. The first one is the concept that every individual, not only public servants, every individual has the right and indeed the responsibility to engage across cultures and contribute to world peace through person-to-person contacts. Here you have NGOs, activists, people who can de-escalate conflicts. They may not be government officials, but they can contribute to world peace. This kind of citizen diplomacy is called track 2 diplomacy because it does not arise from government. If I take the example, for instance, of the last trade conflict we had with Nigerian traders in Kumasi, Ghana, had with the Ghanaian government, well, there were Ministry of Foreign Affairs diplomats spoke, met. It was intractable until the parliamentarians, led by the Speaker of the House, went to Ghana to meet with their fellow parliamentarians, with their colleagues, to try and untie the knot, try and find common ground, and also de-escalate that conflict. So this track 2 diplomacy is done not by the frontline diplomats, not by the traditional diplomats working in foreign affairs, but by citizens, private citizens and people in other areas of government. But the second definition of citizen diplomacy that is germane to our discourse today is the one espoused and popularized by Chief Ojomadwekwe, Foreign Minister, in 2007, when he said that Nigeria's foreign policy will be citizen diplomacy, focused on the Nigerian citizen. That Nigeria's foreign policy will, in its approach, objective and outcome, will be citizen-oriented. It will also stem the poor treatment meted out to Nigerians abroad, and at the same time tap into the enormous potential of Nigeria's outside wealth, their expertise, their skills, their resources. That is our understanding of citizen diplomacy for the purposes of our talk today. So in citizen diplomacy, the citizen, Nigerian citizen, is supreme. Their foreign policy is geared towards the welfare of the people and the survival of the nation, national development. And every mission charter that is given to the ambassador on his way to his mission, even to the diplomat. He may not be an ambassador. Every diplomat, your mission charter has as objective the promotion of the interest and welfare of Nigeria and Nigerians. What is the interface between diplomatic agents and citizens at posts in our missions? Issuance of consular documents like passports, ID cards, attestations. I did say that in some countries, the identity card is the passport too. It's a sine qua non for survival. And so when the embassy, for one reason or the other, does not issue a consular card to a Nigerian, the Nigerian feels naked. He feels bare, he cannot operate, cannot open an account in the bank, cannot withdraw money. So issuance of consular documents is very important. It's key in this interface between our diplomats and our citizens abroad. We must also visit incarcerated Nigerians in foreign prisons. Almost every country in the world now, we have Nigerians who, for one reason or the other, have fallen foul of the law. And the Nigerian diplomats must make out time to visit these people. When I was in Abidjan as ambassador in Côte d'Ivoire, I visited the prisons at least 3 times in a year. At the end of the year or beginning of the year, and then on the National Day of the host country, and then on the National Day of Nigeria. And you take small things to them, give them 1,000 sefa, give them small cosmetic soap, such like, and make them feel that Nigeria has not forgotten them. This is part of citizen diplomacy. There's also repatriation of stranded Nigerians. All over the world now, we have trafficked Nigerians, especially on the West Coast. Nigerians that have been deceived. There's a better life for you in Côte d'Ivoire, there's a better life for you in Benin. And they go there, they are trafficked. Human trafficking, even the sex markets. Some of them, of course, willingly go there. But some you find who were really deceived and want to retrace their steps. The embassy is duty bound to repatriate those ones. Nigerian mission should also be represented at Nigerian community functions. It has prestige. It has prestige to the function. They should also provide space, where possible, in the embassy for Nigerian community functions. When I was in Canada, I was in the High Commission, we provided, I think once a month, we gave them a venue for their meetings. In Abidjan too, we did that. Had all their meetings, elections in our conference room. These are aspects of interface between the diplomat and the citizen abroad. Of course, mediation in squabbles. Nigerian community, they are very fond of having factions and quarrels and conflicts. And then the embassy should also step in and see how it can de-escalate again the conflict and rehumanize relations. No entity can exist if it does not grow. If you don't grow, you become extinct. So national development nations must grow in order to subsist. And national development is a key component of our national interest that diplomats are called upon to promote and defend. Now, how do our citizens contribute to national development? What is the contribution of the diaspora to national development? One is injection of diaspora funds to the national economy. Sending money to families for Medicare, for school fees, whatever. They're injecting money. Sending money to people to open small cottage industries. They're injecting money. They make money abroad, inject it into our economy. Brain gain. They invest in Nigeria's economy too. And they come with what they have learned, the technology they have imbibed, and they come and they put it to our service here through technology transfer. Extension services. In many communities, you see that the professionals, medical doctors, for instance, they organize medical outreach every year to their country, villages, to their towns, and they carry out their surgeries, operations, and glasses, cataract operations, so many things, which otherwise those poor villagers would not have access to. Most of our citizens abroad also attract FDIs, foreign direct investment, through so many meetings, investment meetings. They organize so many in Ottawa, I know, Abidjan, so many NIDO investment meetings, and connect buyers and people who are seeking opportunities in Nigeria. So we see that there's a nexus between citizen diplomacy and national development, because our diplomacy operators, diplomatic agents, and practitioners must provide an enabling environment for citizens to contribute to national development through encouraging and edifying pronouncements by principal officers and service delivery by our diplomatic agents. What are the prospects then? As I said, Nigerians are all over the world. It has been said that you go to Alaska, you will see Nigerians. You go to Iceland, you see Nigerians struggling. Not to talk of America, Canada, Europe. Everywhere Nigerians are there struggling, hustling, making money, and repatriating. So there's a lot of potential in that. It grows our GNP, gross national product. We also have a high number of Nigerian professionals in sports. Ben Adesanya, in soccer, all the clubs in Europe. The same prestige, the same money they make, and which Nigerians also benefit from. And also religious organizations too, worldwide. I know that the Redeemed Christian Church of God has branches almost in every country now. When I was in Abidjan too as ambassador, the overseer came in his private jet to commission some projects. And the Christ Embassy, synagogue, see people from all over the world coming to consult our pastors. And these people, as they are coming, they're also coming with their foreign exchange, which they spend either in hotel or in restaurants, or by virtue of being in Nigeria. They inject funds into our economy. I know also of Shiloh. I think the Winners Chapel that organizes Shiloh every December. When I was in Canada too, we had so many requests for visas, people coming to attend Shiloh. When I was in Abidjan, we had over 3 or 7 buses. They were coming to Shiloh. They gave us a list. We are coming to Shiloh with their money. So these are potential and prospects that we have of attracting foreign funds into our economy. And so the Nigerian diplomat must facilitate. You see tourists, investors seeking visas, seeking opportunities in Nigeria. Even e-love, what they call e-love now. People find love on the internet. And they come, they want to go to Nigeria to meet such a person. Of course, you advise as much as you can. Be careful. Do you know the person? If the person is insistent, well, it's part of income for Nigeria. What is the scorecard? How are we performing on this citizen diplomacy? Well, from the tales of war making the rounds on social media once in a while, it would appear that many of our diplomatic missions have not been living up to expectations, especially in their treatment of Nigerian citizens and in service delivery. Simply put, the welfare of Nigerians appears to be lacking in submissions. And this ignites antagonism towards the fatherland. You hear people who are waiting in the snow, the rain for visa, for passport. What do you hear? They say, I will never, once I get my paper here, I will tear the Nigerian passport. I will never return to that country. That's failure of service delivery. Once you hear that, it's failure of service delivery. It means that our diplomats are not paying attention to our citizens. That citizen diplomacy has failed in that regard. Because the Nigerian constitution allows for dual citizenship, which means that an individual can straddle two countries, and then we benefit from that possibility, instead of antagonizing the applicant to such an extent that he wants to tear our green passport. Now, our service providers must therefore exercise patience and bend over backwards in dealing with our nationals because of the potential accruals that come to Nigeria. What are the challenges citizen diplomacy? That first challenge must be for our diplomats, our service providers, to be cognizant, to recognize, to appreciate the complementary roles that Nigerians in and outside the country play. They must realize that Nigerians outside are playing a huge role in national development through these injections of funds and other things that they bring into the country. The second challenge I see here is adequate funding. It is an issue, of course. Every year you hear that allocation to the foreign ministry is dwindling, going down by certain percentage points. And when you consider that these budgets are denominated in naira, and then they have to be changed to foreign currency, and the foreign currency keeps appreciating, then it's a quagmire. We're in a quagmire. We don't have enough. It's insufficient funding. So government has to increase its funding of the foreign service. But then, are we paying our taxes? Are we doing our duties as citizens? Are we performing our civic responsibility? Are we paying our taxes? Because it is the taxes we pay that government uses to fund the services. Many of us here, for instance, are house owners. Do we pay tenement rates on all our properties? Where you have rentals, do you pay tax on your rental property? It's a civil responsibility. I know a friend in Canada who earns so much, and he has broken down his taxes. He said from January to July, all the money he earns goes back to government. The one that goes into his pocket is the one he earns from August to December. That's how high the tax is. Recently, Canada was voted the #1 country to live in. You see the reason? People are paying taxes, and the government is using those taxes to fund the services to the people. So, the government should look into IGR and see how we can increase it, improve it, and have enough resources to fund the services, including the foreign service. Corruption is an issue. It's a major challenge. People are going to be discussing it on other papers. And then the quality of representation. The foreign service should boast of the best a nation can offer in terms of education, character, and patriotic zeal. What do we have? Once somebody has a university degree, oh, he has qualified. We put him in foreign service. No. And then some branch B officers, they get certificates, diplomas from dubious institutions. And they present it and say, oh, I've got my degree. And then he automatically is a diplomat. And you send him out and cannot string two sentences together. You send him out into somewhere and he's intimidated. He can't perform. So we must look at the quality of our representation. Diplomat must have at least sound university degree, and even a second language. Why not? What are my recommendations in this regard? Okay, the first is a periodic retreats like this one, or training and seminars on citizen diplomacy to refresh the minds of our diplomats about expectations. And this should be on Zoom so that our missions abroad can participate. It concerns them, concerns service delivery, concerns so that it should be technology. With the pandemic, Zoom technology is common. There should be a feedback mechanism from Nigerians on service delivery missions and in NDAs. There should be a way to say, oh, how are we performing? The ambassador in the office, once in a while, come down, take a stroll to the consular section and watch what's going on here. Why are there so many people here? What are they waiting for? How long have you been here? Whistleblowing mechanism. As I said, when I was in Abidjan, one of the consular clerk was asking bribe from an applicant. The applicant found a way to call me and say, Madam, you're asking me to pay 10,000 extra. You see? So there must be a whistleblowing mechanism, kind of naming and shaming, so that people up can see what is going on down there at the service delivery desks. It may involve the use of CCTV, putting CCTV, and once in a while you look and watch to see how are they doing. There should also be increased e-government in service delivery to reduce person-to-person contact, because it's when you have person-to-person contact that corruption sets in. People ask for something before they can deliver. But if applications are done online, you pay, get your receipts, you just come and pick your passport, that's it. They post your passport to you, post your ID card to you, because you have paid for these things. Then you don't see anybody that asks for bribe. Adequate funding, timely funding. Do not send the monies to the embassies late. Find a way to send their allocations. The allocations are not enough. And again, it's not coming early. It's double jeopardy. And then blockchain accounting systems for transparency in managing missions funds and the funds of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Blockchain, so that once money is going out from here, headquarters knows what is it for, where is it going, who is getting it, what is the service, what is the payment for. This will reduce corruption, I think, in the system. Finally, rigorous recruitment. What does that mean? Rigorous recruitment process into the foreign service to engage the best from the point of view of IQ, intelligence quotient, and emotional intelligence. You want people who can withstand pressure. You want people on the consular desk who can withstand pressure, who are not choleric, who don't lose it, who snap at the drop of a hat. Once an applicant says something contrary, they lose it, they shout. No, you don't want such people. You want people who can withstand the pressure, the rigors of meeting outsiders, deliver properly. You also want people who have a second language. There's no point sending an English speaker to France, for instance, or to any French-speaking country. Of course, he cannot perform at optimum level. Even reports that is required to write, he cannot write any report, because you have to read the daily newspaper to know what is happening in the country, and then to write your report. But you cannot, because he doesn't know the language. So all our diplomats henceforth should be able to have a second language. If they don't have it on recruitment, at least within capacity building, should be able to have it. In conclusion, the Nigerian citizen is the beneficiary of citizen diplomacy. And as we can see already, Nigerians are contributing hugely to national income, national development. The challenge now is for our diplomatic agents worldwide to facilitate the issuance, effective and efficient issuance or provision of service delivery to our citizens, to enable them continue injecting funds, resources, skills, expertise into the Nigerian project. I'd like to laud the organizers again for this retreat and this conference, and I pray and hope that the conclusions that we arrive at and the recommendations will be acted upon, especially the low-hanging ones, and that provision be made with the Zoom technology so that our missions all over the world can hook in, can key in into these discussions and begin already to implement those that are within reach. Thank you very much, Your Excellencies, distinguished senators, honorable members. Thank you.